Good morning, everyone. Myself Sakshi, and this is Jyoti. We are from MERI College pursuing MCA. We as a team has developed a DWDM project, or you can say ML-based project, speech emotion detection or emotion detection through speech.
So why we have chosen this project? Emotion detection has become one of the biggest marketing strategies in which mood of the customer plays an important role. So to detect the current emotion of the person and suggest him the appropriate product or help him accordingly will increase the demand of the product or the company. As we know, humans have the natural ability to use all their available senses for maximum awareness of the received message. The emotional detection is the natural of humans, but it is very difficult task for machines. Detecting emotions is one of the most important marketing strategies in today's world. For this reason, we decided to do a project where we could detect a person's emotions just by their voice, which will let us manage many AI-related applications. Some examples could be including call centers to play music when one is angry on the call. Another could be a smart car slowing down when one is angry or fearful.
So what is the basic analogy of the project? Analogy is we have a speech signal which is passed to a deep neural network, and that deep neural network will decide the predicted emotion behind the speech. So what is the ideology behind the project? The idea behind creating this project was to build a machine learning model that could detect emotions from the speech we have with each other all the time. So why not we have an emotion detector that will gauge your emotions and in the future recommend you different things based on your mood. This can be used by multiple industries to offer different services, like marketing companies suggesting you to buy products based on your emotions, or automotive industry can detect person's emotions and adjust the speed of autonomous cars as required to avoid any collisions.
So the approaches used in this project, but first let us see what dataset we have used. RevDes. The dataset includes around 1500 audio files input from 24 different actors. 12 are males and 12 are females, where these actors record short audios in 8 different emotions, which are neutral, calm, happy, sad, angry, fearful, disgust, and surprised. Each audio file is named in such a way that the seventh character is consistent with the different emotions that they represent. So the first approach we used is speech to text translation using speech emotion recognition API. Initially, we tested the audio by translating it back into the text mode using speech emotion API to know what the audio is all about. The second step is analyzing audio signals, which is to test out the audio files by plotting out the waveform and the spectrogram to see the sample audio files. The next step is masking and cleaning of audio files. This step is to clean the audio files by lowering down the sample rates and removing the unwanted noise around the raw audio via masking. The next feature is feature extraction. It involves extracting of features from the audio files, which will help our model learn between these audio files. For feature extraction, we make use of Libro's library in Python, which is one of the libraries used for audio analysis. Also, there are labels of emotions defined. When the clean dataset is loaded with the calling of feature extraction process, every audio is classified into the labels predefined.
So the next step is building the model. Since the project is a classification problem, multi-layer perceptron or MLP classifier seems the obvious choice for us. We chose this model to predict the right emotion. So the classifier connects to a neural network. Unlike other classification algorithms such as SVM or naive-Bayes classifier, MLP classifier relies on an underlying neural network to perform the task of classification. So how does MLP classifier works? We have input layers like you can see in the picture, input 1, input 2, input 3, which is then passed to some hidden layers which are used for the implementation of abstraction, and then the result is processed here, and then result is printed back to the output layer where you can see the predicted emotion. After building the model, we try to do the predictions. So after tuning the model, we tested it out by predicting the emotions for the test data. Following up the splitting of training and testing data to saving the model is loaded again to predict the test data and store its result in .csv file, along with its label for mapping individual results to .wav files. After that, we have tried a live demo for prediction. For that, we have recorded the voice of any user via microphone, and then we can save it as a .wav file, so that later we can load our model to predict the result of that particular wave file. After building the model, live prediction and everything after that, we have decided to make a UI interface. So how does our UI interface look like? We have 3 buttons: record, pause, or stop. So record is used to record your audio. Pause is used if you want to stop anywhere in between. And after clicking the stop button, your audio is recorded and you can play it via that play audio button, and can also save it to your disk as well. So now let's look at the code for the running implementation of the project. So yeah, now let's look at the code. So initially we have installed all our libraries which are needed to process our data and build the model. Here you can see these are all the libraries installed of the classifier, or to import the data set or load the data set. So after loading all the libraries, we will load our required data set, which is a RevDes data set with approx 1500 files. So using this code, we have actually loaded our files, and when we print the list of files, it will say 1439. This is the amount of files we have, audio files, which we need to process. After that, we have tried to know what exactly is in our audio. So we used speech recognition API to convert audio into text. So when we have done this, we can see that we got the text behind the audio, like talking by the door, dog sitting by the door. These are the text. These are the audio text which are recorded by the actors. But as you can see, there are some error printing messages as well, because speech recognition API is not that powerful to process all the audios to get their text. So yeah, that's why I have applied the try and accept case to know which audio is converted into text and which is not. Okay. So after that, what we did is we did a basic plotting of the graphs to understand how our audio looks like. For that, we have 2 graphs: time series data graph and spectrogram. So time series data graph looks like this. This is the time series data graph, where on the y-axis we have our sound amplitude, and on the x-axis we have our time. And the second graph we plotted is spectrogram. So spectrogram is the visual way of presenting the strength of the loudness of the audio over the frequency, over the period of the time. Okay. So this is the spectrogram. It looks like this. You can see here, it looks like this. Okay. So these are some basic audio plotting graphs. After that, we decided to do in-depth visualization. So for that, we need the audio files, and we need to extract certain features of it to plot it for. So these are some in-depth visualizations of the features of the audio. That is, once we have defined all our functions of the plotting graphs, and then we have loaded our audio data set onto that plotting functions. So now when we call these plotting functions, it looks like this. Okay. So these are the features which are plotted, features of the audio which are plotted. Okay. So once we have visualized, once we have loaded our data set, visualized our data set, now is the process to clean our data set. So for cleaning, we decided to lower down the sample rate and apply masking over it. So what masking is? Masking is something removing the unwanted noise, or you can say the empty background noise around our main audio. So for that, we have applied some functions. And when we called our functions onto our data set, you can see our clean data set is loaded, and we decided to separate this clean speech into a clean directory, so that later when we do our feature engineering, we only have our clean data set. So when now this clean speech is our clean data set when we have applied our cleaning and masking over it. Okay. So now what we will do, we will have our feature extraction step, which will now extract certain audio features of every audio file and will stack them in a result array. Okay. So now we will extract 3 features of the audio file, that is MFCC, Chroma, and MEL. These are some of the basic audio features of every audio file. Okay. So when we have applied this code, we got our result. So our result is actually the array of all of these features of every particular audio file. After that, labels classification. So actually we have only the data set of audio files. We do not have any CSV associated with it. So we need to have our labels classified. We need to have our labels defined so that we can later map our audio to that particular label, as we have talked in our PPT, the approach we have used. So this is the emotions label. We have emotions dictionary we have tried to make with some labels like neutral, calm, happy, sad. And then we have tried to make a list of observed emotions only. We will apply our audio files onto this observed emotions only. You can add or subtract emotions into it according to your preference, but adding more and more emotions into it lowers down the accuracy level. Okay. So we are only predicting our 4 emotions right now: calm, happy, fearful, and disgust. Okay. So after that, what we will do, of course, we will do the loading of the data and splitting of data into training and testing. Okay. So once we load the data, our clean speech data, okay. So now we need to check whether the particular emotion is available in our audio or not, because as Jyoti has discussed in her PPT, that the last 7 character labels to the emotion of the audio. Okay. So once we have done this code, we try to feature extract our audio file and append our X and Y list with features and emotions. Later we return the training and testing splitting. We have split it 33% wise. So our 33% is testing data and the left remaining is our training data. Okay. Once we have splitted our data set, we try to label our file names with the predicted emotions. So for that, we have tried to apply the mapping function, which will later, when we have our predicted result, will map our audio file with their particular emotions. Otherwise, in our CSV file, we will only have the predicted emotions like calm, happy, disgust. We will never got to know what this particular emotion implies which particular file. Okay. So we have applied this mapping function. Now you can see above the shape of our training data set. So this is our training X train, Y train, X test, Y test. So this is how we have actually splitted our data set, and later we have mapped our data set. Okay. So we will get our shape of the training and testing data set using X-train and X-test. And number of features we have actually extracted using that extract feature function is 180 of every particular audio file. Okay. So once we have done this feature extraction, we have our X and Y list with their particular features and emotion labels. Now we need to apply our MLP classifier. So we have tried we have thought of many classifiers to choose, but we thought that MLP classifier is the most obvious choice, because this classifier is mainly used for classification problem, where you need to map your data set to a particular label. Okay. And as we have discussed, this MLP classifier has input layers, some hidden layers, and output layers. So what we will do, our data set, our clean data set, which we have actually processed earlier, is fed to the input layer, and then the hidden layers will analyze it, process it, and then the data is outputted on the output layer. Okay. So yeah, we have applied our MLP classifier. This is the model we have built using MLP classifier. Now we will train our model using X-train and Y-train dataset. Okay. Once we have trained our model, we saved our model for future references, so that later we have, if we have another data sets to predict our model on, we have a saved model, so that we don't need to process this whole step which we have discussed above again and again. Okay. So we have saved the model. Our model name is emotion voice detection model.pkl. Okay. So once we have saved the model, we try to load our model for the particular file we need to predict. So now we have actually loaded the model, and then we have predicted the test data using the saved model. Now you can see emotion voice detection model.predict X-test. X-test is our testing data, and this is our model to predict. And once you do this, the whitepad shows you the NumPy array of all of these emotions predicted of that particular audio file. Okay. So this is the NumPy array. I know this is not that readable, so we will make it more readable. Okay. So now we can do the summarization of predicted data by knowing the confusion matrix, accuracy, and classification report. So our accuracy right now of this particular model is 78%. Okay. After that, we need to actually make our predicted data set more readable. What we have actually got the result, we need to make it more readable. So we stored the predicted file in .csv file. So you can see here, our predictions are stored in prediction file.csv with their label names, which we have discussed in the earlier mapping process. So once we do this, we got to know what particular prediction is, what we have actually got as a result for the particular wave file. Now you can see that the first wave file got happy as prediction, third wave file got calm as prediction. So you got to know your result कि ये particular file का क्या emotion है. Okay. So now it's just that now we have actually tried to load our only 10 models to know what actually it looks like in more readable format. Actually, this is actually the same. Okay. Now, once you have done this, you have actually predicted your data set. The work of data set is finished. Now you can try your live demo as well. So for live demo, we can record our voice via microphone of your, of course, laptop or computer. Okay, once you apply this code, you have done your recording, and your recording will automatically save as default output 10.wave file. Okay, so when you have actually recorded and you check your PC or laptop, you can check that output 10.wav file is stored with your own recorded voice. Okay, so I have recorded my voice, anything you can say in output 10.wav file. Later I try to plot it to know what actually it looks like. It looks like this. We can also apply more visualization functions on it, which we have done on RevDes dataset. But if we do normal basic time series dataset, then this is enough. Okay, so once you do this, you can apply the same process. You can apply the extract feature function on that particular random file, and then you can load the model to predict the result. So now you have that output 10.wave file. You can apply the extract feature function on it. Once the features are predicted, you got your X and Y list. Then you can apply this X and Y list onto your saved model to predict the emotion of your recorded voice. Okay. So yeah, this is all about the code. Okay, now let's go back to the PPT.
So, conclusions and challenges. The literature in speech emotion detection is not very rich, and researchers are still debating what features influences the recognition of emotion in speech. There is also considerable uncertainty as to the best algorithm for classifying emotions and which emotion to class together. Second, in the real problem, different individuals reveal their emotions in a diverse degree and manner. There are also many differences between acted and spontaneous speech. So, this model can be used by various apps, online shopping websites, and so on to know about the user's emotions. Further, improvements can be made to the model so that it can perform well in real time. For improving the accuracy of the model, we can increase the size of the data set. The classifier can be embedded in a software or an app so that it can work in real time. Moreover, we look forward to come up with more industrial applications for this model. Due to less availability of datasets, our accuracy was not as expected. So, in further work, we can increase the number of datasets so as to get the higher accuracy.
Drawbacks and future scope. So first, you can try different other classifiers as well to predict the emotion behind the audio like CNN, SVM, etc. Second, predicting the live audio takes a lot of process, and it is sometimes difficult to process as it is unlike the binary data with some CSV file associated with it. Third, in future, we can predict the random recorded audio as well. Also, we can embed our UI interface with ML model and can build a web-based app with ML using Flask in the future. And this point can be a great scope. Later, we can have more variety of voices and they can be trained and dataset can be increased to deploy more realistic model. Also, there is a GitHub link of our project where you can check our code and see how our project looks like. So now let's go to the UI running interface of our project. So this is how our UI looks like. You can see there are 3 buttons: record, pause, and stop. So once you click the record button, it will ask you if you want to allow your microphone or not. Once you click the allow button, so yeah, this is Sakshi and I'm from MCA Mary. Now you can click on pause button as well. So you cannot record your audio further. And once you click the resume button, and here with us, Jyoti is also. So yeah, this is all about the audio. And once you click the stop button, our audio is actually recorded. Now you can listen it using the play button. So yeah, this is Sakshi and I'm from MCA Mary. Now you can click on pause button as well. And here with us, Jyoti is also. So yeah, this is all about the audio. And once you click the stop button, so you can see all our 3 buttons are working parallelly together. Now you can also save your audio as well using the save to disk button. Once you click it, your audio is actually saved in the downloads. You can check here your audio is actually saved. Okay. So later we can use this UI interface to embed it with our model and make a web-based app. So now let's get back to our PPT. So yeah, this is us, me and Jyoti. We have together worked as a team onto this project. So yeah, thank you. If you have any questions, you can email us.